Imagine waking up in a bustling city. The sun bathes cobblestone streets in a warm glow. The air is filled with the sounds of commerce and life. You are in ancient Rome, a city of grandeur and grit. Life here is unlike anything you have ever seen. I, Marcus, am your guide. I will take you beyond the legends and the myths. We will delve into the everyday lives of ordinary Romans. Prepare yourself for a journey through time. It is a time of emperors and slaves, gladiators and senators, triumphs and tragedies. Our journey will unveil the secrets of this ancient world. We will explore the homes they lived in, the food they ate, and the jobs they held. We will uncover the social hierarchy, the entertainment they enjoyed, and the laws they obeyed. So come, dear reader, and step back in time with me. Let us explore the heartbeat of ancient Rome. Let us uncover the secrets that lie beneath the stones and within the walls of this magnificent empire. Housing in ancient Rome varied greatly. The rich lived in luxurious villas called domus. These homes boasted beautiful gardens, courtyards, and even private baths. Imagine marble floors, frescoed walls, and intricate mosaics. The less wealthy lived in insulae. These were apartment blocks, often several stories high. Imagine cramped living spaces, shared sanitation, and the constant risk of fire. These buildings housed the majority of the city's population. Regardless of their social standing, Romans placed great importance on their homes. The home was a sanctuary, a place for family and for the worship of household gods. It was also a place of social gathering, where friends and family would come together to share meals and stories. Life in Roman homes was communal. Families often lived in close quarters with their servants and slaves. The design of the home reflected this, with spaces for both public and private life. Roman cuisine was as diverse as its people. The wealthy enjoyed lavish meals with exotic ingredients. Imagine feasting on roasted boar, stuffed dormice, and honeyed pastries. Their tables overflowed with imported fruits, spices, and wines. The average Roman, however, had a simpler diet. Bread, olives, and vegetables formed the staples. Imagine dipping crusty bread into olive oil, seasoned with herbs and spices. They also ate lentils, beans, and cheese. Meat was a luxury, consumed mostly on special occasions. Romans were fond of street food. Imagine grabbing a quick bite from a street vendor. They sold everything from fried fish to honey cakes. Wine was the drink of choice, consumed by rich and poor alike. Food played a central role in Roman culture. Meals were a time for socializing and strengthening bonds. They were also an opportunity to display wealth and status. Roman society was strictly hierarchical. At the top were the senators, the wealthy elite who held political power. Imagine them draped in fine togas, discussing matters of state in the forum. Below them were the equestrians, a wealthy class of businessmen and landowners. Imagine them overseeing their estates, engaging in trade, and funding public works. They aspired to join the ranks of the senators. Next came the plebeians, the ordinary citizens of Rome. Imagine them working as craftsmen, shopkeepers, and laborers. They formed the backbone of Roman society. At the bottom of the social ladder were the slaves. Imagine them performing a variety of tasks, from domestic work to agricultural labor. Slaves had no rights and were considered property. Social mobility was limited. Your birth largely determined your place in society. However, there were exceptions. Some freed slaves managed to gain wealth and influence. Section 5. Beyond the Colosseum, Roman leisure and entertainment. When we think of Roman entertainment, gladiatorial combat often comes to mind. Imagine the roar of the crowd as gladiators fought to the death in the Colosseum. It was a spectacle of violence and skill, a gruesome form of entertainment. But Roman leisure was not all blood and gore. Chariot racing was another popular pastime. Imagine the adrenaline rush as chariots thundered around the Circus Maximus. The crowd cheered for their favorite charioteers and teams. Theaters were also popular. Imagine watching comedies, tragedies, and even acrobatics. Romans enjoyed gambling, board games, and public baths. The baths were a place to socialize, relax, and cleanse oneself. Public holidays and festivals were frequent and elaborate. Imagine processions, sacrifices, and feasts dedicated to the Roman gods. These events provided a welcome break from the daily grind. Section 6. Toiling under the Roman sun, work and economy. The Roman economy relied heavily on agriculture. Imagine vast estates worked by slaves and tenant farmers. They produced grain, olives, grapes, and other crops for the empire. Trade was also vital. Imagine ships laden with goods arriving from all corners of the empire. They brought spices from the east, grain from Egypt, and slaves from conquered lands. Within the city, workshops and markets thrived. Imagine blacksmiths hammering metal, bakers kneading dough, and potters shaping clay. Romans were skilled craftsmen producing a wide range of goods. The government played a role in the economy. Imagine public works projects like roads, aqueducts, and temples. These projects provided employment and boosted the economy. Section 7. Curious customs and quirky laws of the Roman world. Roman law and customs were a fascinating mix of practicality and superstition. For instance, did you know it was considered bad luck to wear white to a wedding? Imagine the bride adorned in vibrant colors, a symbol of joy and fertility. Speaking of weddings, the ceremony often involved a sacrifice to Jupiter, the king of the gods. Imagine the smoke of the offering rising, a plea for a blessed union. After the ceremony, the bride would carry fire and water into her new home, symbolizing her role as homemaker. Romans were also superstitious about the left side of the body. Imagine a world where everything was done with the right hand. The left hand was considered unclean and unlucky. It was even taboo to use it for greetings or gestures. These are just a few examples of the curious customs that governed Roman life. Their beliefs and practices offer a glimpse into their worldview, a blend of pragmatism and reverence for tradition. The Roman Forum was the heart of the city. Imagine a bustling plaza surrounded by temples, government buildings, and shops. It was the center of Roman political, religious, and commercial life. Senators debated laws and delivered speeches in the Forum. Imagine the clatter of chariot wheels as important officials made their way through the crowd. Citizens gathered to hear the latest news, conduct business, and socialize. Markets lined the edges of the Forum, selling everything from food and clothing to jewelry and slaves. Imagine the cacophony of vendors hawking their wares, the aroma of spices filling the air, and the chatter of bargaining customers. The Forum was a microcosm of Roman society, a place where all walks of life converged. It was a testament to the grandeur and the chaos of this ancient city. The Roman baths were more than just a place to get clean. They were social hubs, centers of relaxation, and even venues for intellectual discussion. Imagine stepping into a world of steam, chatter, and the scent of fragrant oils. The baths offered a variety of experiences. You could start with a soak in the warm tepidarium, followed by a dip in the hot coldarium. Imagine the steam rising from the water as you relax your muscles and let your worries melt away. Afterward, you could head to the frigidarium for a refreshing cold plunge. Imagine the invigorating shock of the cold water, a stark contrast to the heat of the previous baths. The baths also had areas for exercise, massage, and even libraries. The baths were a microcosm of Roman society, a place where people from all walks of life came together. It was a testament to their love of luxury, cleanliness, and social interaction. Religion permeated every aspect of Roman life. Imagine a world where gods and goddesses influenced everything from the weather to the outcome of battles. Romans were polytheistic, worshipping a pantheon of deities. Each god had their own domain and responsibilities. Jupiter was the king of the gods, while Mars was the god of war. Venus represented love and beauty, while Minerva embodied wisdom and strategy. Temples dedicated to various gods and goddesses dotted the cityscape. Imagine the scent of incense wafting from these temples, the sound of prayers being chanted, and the sight of offerings being made. Romans made offerings and sacrifices to appease the gods and ensure their favor. They also consulted oracles, interpreted omens, and held festivals to honor their deities. Religion provided a sense of order and meaning in a world often unpredictable and harsh. As we conclude our journey through ancient Rome, we are left with a sense of awe and wonder. Imagine a civilization that built magnificent structures, established a complex legal system, and left an indelible mark on Western civilization. From their engineering marvels like aqueducts and roads to their contributions to art, literature, and law, the Romans left a rich legacy. Their influence can still be seen today in our language, our architecture, and our legal systems. While their empire may have crumbled, their achievements continue to inspire and captivate us. As we marvel at the ruins of their cities and the echoes of their stories, we are reminded of the power and fragility of human civilization. So the next time you encounter a Roman numeral, a Latin phrase, or even a concrete structure, remember the legacy of the ancients. Their story is a reminder that even the greatest empires eventually fall, but their achievements can endure the test of time.